We're back.
A little bit of kind of technical difficulties, you could say, but
Wow.
I don't know.
Amazing. I trust that Zoom so much more
Than
than
your
like a pro audio
2011.
interface and all this stuff.
Well, listen, the audience are going to have to decide whether they like the sound of this one more than the Zoom ones, because we had a little issue here. Like last episode, I think anyone who follows our Instagram is aware that we went out afterwards, me, Johnny, and Stranglehold.
Yeah.
Played a little Cutthroat and, got a little bit banged up.
Did you see that somebody commented that
Yeah,
said,
he
I
was
knocked
there.
balls
No, he
with
was
these
there.
legends?
Yeah, it was it's a guy who I knew. Actually, I met in Medicine Hat about 10 years ago when I was dressed up as a battered housewife.
Right.
On Halloween, you can't really do that
little bit dated
anymore.
now.
Yeah. And he was at the bar. Yeah, I guess he lives in Vancouver now and works in tech, probably.
That's what you do.
Yeah.
That place seemed like a bit of a tech hub of sorts.
The tech hub?
Strange crowd.
I mean, I don't remember anything.
Me neither.
Frankly. So
No.
I know that. And, this is one for the patrons, I'll tell you. Thank you for subscribing to our Patreon.
This is a Wednesday episode.
It is,
though.
yeah. But thank you to all of our patrons for subscribing to our Patreon. And last Sunday's episode, the kind of quality that you can expect, demand, and you get delivered on a weekly basis.
That was a good episode.
It was a really good episode, and I can let you guys know that your Patreon bucks went to good use that night. Because we spent the whole thing at the bar. The whole monthly stipend.
Mike was very grateful the next day. He was like, he called me and he was like, did you guys pay that whole tab? And I was like, yeah, man. I was like, that one was on iWall. And he was just like, thanks for that.
Yeah. Well, he deserves it for
Yeah,
some of the hottest takes.
He stepped up lately, big time. So, and he puts hours of research into every single. He does it just for the love of it,
love of the game.
Yeah, exactly. So it's nice to be able to kind of pay people back for that kind of service.
Yeah, I feel like I've got kind of hustler energy. I was listening to a guy talking about procrastination.
Yeah.
And how it's kind of genetic. That's some
genetic method.
Exactly. Kind of woke, conscious hip-hop.
No, I was thinking more the band.
Oh, the song Chest Fever. Yeah.
Genetic Method.
Ranked number 20.
Right.
In my ranking, I think. I can't remember where it was.
It was
Mike
right
actually
above
did
Dryer.
have some... He put the shape I'm in higher.
He
really liked...
He generally agreed, from what I can recall.
Yeah.
But, I think he said that. But he agreed that Helpless is a joke. That from a lot of the heavy hitters that we sort of know on this pod are like, that's not even a question. That one sucks, which starting to get behind.
Yeah, I'm starting to agree.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Coyote too, Mike said, but he's not really one who's going to really get into that.
He's not really... He's kind of more Nugent
Yeah.
when it comes to kind of long hair, flowing kind of vibes.
He'd be more into kind of a... If Gordon Lightfoot had been on the last waltz, Mike would have loved that.
Hey, I had a nice thing that happened the other day. Maybe this is more of a Patreon episode conversation, but I was listening to the Mapache record after we talked about it. Great, amazing. And we listened to it a little bit here on the weekend.
Yep.
And then kind of like, I don't know if you have this, I use this streaming service called Spotify. I don't know if you've ever...
Never heard of it.
Yeah, well, you're a...
I'm
well,
a
little
title. I need
vinyl.
I need FLAC
You
level.
need FLAC level, lossless, or vinyl.
That's all I do.
Yeah. And
CDs,
I kind of let it kind of play out. Like
I had I just before you continue, I had a guy come and play
100%.
saxophone on my record, and he was like,
saxophonist.
he was like, just kind of curious, like, did you make CDs of your last album?
Yeah.
And I said no, but he was like, yeah. He's like, I'm a CD guy, so they're still out there.
Did he say I'm a CD guy to you?
Yes, he did.
That's like he used those words.
Yeah.
I don't own a CD.
Me neither. I might have one like lying around in an old drawer, rolling around with like a crusty dime bag.
It's possible.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a pipe and like a kind of a...
Just old stuff.
Just old high school stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Like maybe like a copy of The Catcher in the Rye.
Yeah, some geography homework.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Would it be like a CDR?
Probably a burnt CD mix that I made.
Of a PlayStation game.
Alex's sister, one time we were on a family road trip.
Respect.
And I found in the glove compartment like a CD wallet, you know.
Oh, yeah, we have one in our car, actually.
And I went through it and it was like burnt CDs her sister had made in high school. And one was
Nice.
called Journey to Awakening.
Nice.
Very cool.
Was it like an Alice Coltrane
No,
record?
it was more like it was just kind of like a young woman's journey. It was like the first song, I believe, was like Joni Mitchell. Both Sides Now.
Joni Mitchell Never Lies, you know what I mean?
And then what else was on there, Alex? It was really funny.
Yeah.
Maybe Tracy Chapman, Fast
Like
Car?
some Lilith Fair?
No, not Tracy Chapman. It was really funny, though.
Was it all chicks?
No, it was just a straight-up Journey to Awakening.
I
whatever
love
that
that.
means to you. Anyway, continue.
I was just going to say that, like, I was on Spotify listening to Apache, having a real good time, and then it was kind of like, I don't really listen to albums anymore. I had this conversation yesterday.
Well,
And,
that one's
you know,
a double, too, so good luck.
Well, listen, I'll be quite frank. I didn't listen to the whole thing.
I know that without you saying it.
I listened to, you know, the featured tracks on Spotify.
Sure.
But what it did was then kind of, you know, it kind of keeps playing, right? You end up in like kind of a radio, like Mapache radio.
Yeah. What's that?
And well, it was
Down
like
in Jamaica, they got
no.
That's kind of Mapache.
it was really nice. I was listening and I loved everything that came on, and I was like, "This is sick." And it was like Cutworms, John Andrews,
For sure.
Sylvie,
Yeah.
you know, stuff. And I'm thinking, these guys. I got kind of emotional. I'm like, these guys are listening, man.
Yeah.
They're listening to me.
Oh, to our show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, I wanted to just say, like,
I don't think anyone in Mapache listens. That's my actual
they
friend.
Strictly listening to
Steve
vinyl.
Didlow, the drummer. I think he
Strictly
listens. Steve,
listen
if
to
you're
vinyl.
listening, love you.
Well, anyway, I just wanted to say it was really inspiring. I had an inspiring afternoon. It was one of those days when you drink orange juice. You're so hungover, you drink orange juice, and it makes you feel like you're kind of like restoring some dopamine.
Yeah.
Kind
Oh,
of
yeah.
vibes.
Well, I actually had that with somebody sent us something, or me, that was a video of John Andrews, friend of the pod, doing a cover of a Jerry Jeff Walker song.
So John, man. So John.
About Her Eyes, it was called. Never heard
Okay.
it. Beautiful song. Sent me the tune. I'd never heard it. Loved it. Sent it straight to Mike.
Well, Mike.
He probably cried.
He wouldn't say if he did.
He would.
I fucking cried, man.
No. He's
I
with
fucking
music
cried.
stuff.
I fucking
Dude, you
cried.
throw on Merle Haggard.
Oh, yeah.
Oh God, what's that song? It's just like he just starts kind of quivering.
Quivering.
That one about today was Jeannie's birthday. I guess it slipped your mind. I tried 2 times to call you with no answer every time. What's it? Oh, Holding Things Together While You're Gone.
Nice.
It's like a single dad.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Okay.
Oh, it'll kill you.
Music broke that man. I'm talking about Mike, not Merle.
Oh man,
It's tough. If you feel that deeply,
yeah,
it's tough.
yeah. Kind of that old kind of crying into your beer.
That's
You
his
see
whole
the guy at the
look.
bar that just like
That's his whole.
that
That's
just
Mike's whole look.
Desperado comes on. and it's just
100%.
Another one.
Yeah. No, you don't even have to order it. It just comes.
Yeah, exactly.
That's Mike's whole look.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. And it is. It's
Well,
an aesthetic.
he definitely doesn't have to order it at the Princeton.
No.
I've been there.
Yeah.
He doesn't order.
No. And I
Even
think-
food.
Yeah.
He just gets the breakfast. They bring it.
What, any time of day?
All day he gets the breakfast. I've seen him get a couple other things, but generally 3 eggs.
Well, he needs the protein.
Bryson DeChambeau vibe.
Yeah, he's got to fucking fuel that kind of. Listen, it's tough living down on the Lower East Side, man. I'm out there at the beach all day running. I've been at a gym. I got up this morning, went straight to the gym. It's a new vibe for me.
Yeah.
And had a cherry blossom smoothie, it was called, from the Body Energy Club. Beautiful stuff. It's amazing.
It's pretty west side over there.
Luckily, I bumped into Justice, our friend Justice, there. And it was cool, like, bumping into him. But even bumping into him, I was like, man, I'm such a fucking, like, bougie dweeb. Like, you know, and he's like, hey, man, what's up? And I'm just like, got my smoothie. And I'm like, you know, like, what am I doing with my life?
Buddy, you're a grown man.
Yeah, exactly.
You're living your life. What, are you going to be down at the Biltmore? Like, just like, I don't know, watching, like, the OCs hammered off your ass every night still?
That'd be tough, wouldn't it? That'd be a tough gig.
Yeah.
White Fence.
Like, there was a time
Ty
and place,
Segall.
but smoothies
Segall.
and a nice workout sounds pretty good.
I wouldn't even watch the Beatles, frankly.
You've said that.
I could do like 45 minutes tops, back of the room.
Yeah.
The covers band, though, at Joe's wedding, front row.
At your age now, what about like a Neil Young acoustic live at Massey Hall?
I'd hate the people who were there. I'd hate the kind of people who are there.
Right.
I think they would just frustrate me.
Right.
I'm not. It's like I'm not a girl, not yet a woman. It's
but
like
even
that
back
song.
then, the fans.
Back when?
No, I mean like if you were there at 71.
When I was like 19, that would have been my kind of setup. Would have been like on a kind of carpet with a cat, maybe, like long hair, don't care. Cowboy boots, maybe thinking Neil might want me to get up there with him, play a couple of tunes, you know what I mean? Just sing that fourth harmony or fifth if it's CSNY.
Neil, when he's solo, you don't get up there and do anything.
I'm thinking Danny could be dying at any moment. They might need another guy. I used to put on more of a kind of, come on, baby, let's go there.
Right.
I used to put that on a little bit. So I was ready for the call.
Is there any artist throughout history that you would make it through their entire set and enjoy yourself?
Fucking without a fucking doubt.
Oasis, huh?
Dude, I would love
Glastonbury.
Fucking.
You'd hate that right now. You
now.
No, you now being thrusted into that.
I'm all about that kind of thrust mentality.
Yeah, Herbie Hancock.
I probably couldn't. I think if I saw Herbie, I'd get annoyed because Jacob Collier would show up.
I think you'd be happy like in a jazz club, maybe in like the 50s watching Miles and the guys, only because you just kind of sit there and drink.
Anything you can drink and talk over, I'm fine. It has to be loud enough that you can talk over it, but not loud enough that you can't hear yourself.
Right. Sure.
I like these German clubs, you see. You go to these places, they've got their sort of Vorsprung Dutch technique. They've sorted out how the music can be loud, but they kind of happy face it so you can still talk right through it. No, it doesn't affect Einstürzende Neubauten or like Neu or whatever it is that you're watching.
What I'm gathering is kind of your ideal concert is maybe like an Oktoberfest celebration kind of thing where it's like a lot of beer being served, there's some music.
It's more of a kind of like dressing up as a goth, going to Bergheim, hoping you get in,
right,
and then spending like the whole time in the toilets on E.
That's your number one.
No, I would say like probably some of those like LA style like desert days kind of tassels and fur coat kind of
like now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's great. You can live that dream.
I'm working to get back into it. I don't know if it's just a midlife crisis or if it's, you know, a kind of genuine appreciation for, you know, the format, but the music I've been making, I'm trying to get right back in. Well, I'm inspired by you, dude.
Well, I can't play those festivals.
I think
I'm not psych enough. I'm not hard enough.
Hard psych?
No, I'm more
Moby Grape?
I'm more of a hypnic. Kind of like these other ones that...
Yeah, but you're not in Herman's Jazz Club with your shit. You can still fucking do it. Take it to the streets.
Oh, I've done Herman's, though.
I know,
I'm probably closer to Herman's than Desert Days.
I think you could take it
Austin
to the streets.
Psych Fest?
I think you could probably play like a fringe event near Psych Fest.
Sure.
I don't know if you're playing like the main stage necessarily. No. That's more of a kind of Deer Hunter... kind of Black Angels. I think they bogart that. But, you know, if you got big enough, like, they sometimes make concessions, you know? I know Mac played it one time. He's not really
He's kind of psyche.
I guess, like, his, like, demeanor is a little bit psychotic.
Yeah.
You
know what I saw? Like, some festival coming up. I saw it, Tame Impala headlining.
It's Desert Days, man.
Is it performing lonerism in its entirety?
You know what?
I thought this. It's weird. You know, like when I see that stuff, I'm thinking to myself.
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking to myself, like, do they just say, like, look, we'll pay you double if you just do the album everybody likes, start to finish? Because that's all we care about.
Well, I think that...
Imagine if, like, because they're still a relevant band.
Yeah, but it's a 10-year anniversary. All of their records are successful. Like, they could do that with any of their records. Lonerism is, like, peak psych.
So I didn't know it was the 10-year thing. Okay.
And it's like, it's sick. I would, what?
I know
that
it's
is
sick,
a
but
show
like
that I would enjoy.
Imagine if it was like, I just can't see like the Stones being like in the 70s being like doing Sticky Fingers front to back. You know what I mean?
Dude, imagine
like,
though,
that.
like, what my vibe would be like if I was at like the Time Impala show.
What?
Because I'd be like, Mind Mischief next, man. It's going to be sick. Like, I know, it'd be that guy.
I know
Everyone's
people
that
dig
guy.
it, but it's the same reason they dig, like,
See,
the Obi-Wan Kenobi
You're
show.
even saying dig it. Like, you're already kind of halfway there. Well, you're already kind of
I
saying
like
that.
certain terms still from the 60s.
Like what? Dig it?
Groovy,
yeah,
I enjoy
sure.
groovy.
Spooky.
I don't think that's exclusive to
Far
that.
out, man.
Kind of. I don't throw that one around
I use
too
it.
much. You do? Yeah, you do say far out.
Yeah.
I find groovy, like, I find a lot of the hippie language to be disarming.
Yeah.
Like in emails and stuff, if you kind of throw it out, people are like, this guy's he's not aggressive. Like if I'm like,
hey, man.
It'd be groovy if you wanted to like get together and like do my taxes.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
And then they're kind of like, this guy's cool. Like he probably doesn't even have to pay us to do that.
Yeah, you're just kind of floating on through.
They're like, don't expect me to be like professional and stuff.
No,
and
you're
people
kind of just
do things
floating.
for you, you know?
Because that's the fucking move.
Yeah. Whereas if I'm like, I'm just been looking at these.
This is more my energy.
T5 slips, and what the fuck is this?
Exactly. That's more of a kind of like Henley vibe.
Yeah, exactly.
Henley's approach to doing his taxes.
Yeah.
As opposed to maybe like Janis Joplin or something.
Did you see the thing that I sent you? Can you explain to me what this
100%
means?
I didn't.
That it's a thing.
Nice.
It's David Crosby's Twitter. It's a photo of Janis Joplin.
It's been a long time since we were on his Twitter. I need to go back on
it. It's a photo of Janis Joplin and Pigpen from the Grateful Dead.
Yeah, the dealer.
And David Crosby said, "Love Janis. ... Should have done it."
What?
Should have done it.
What the
Is he
fuck?
saying like have sex with her?
I mean, I think perpetually like
I'm a bit
talks about sex as if
that's only
like he's always talking about Joni in the same way, like, and it's really depressing because you're like, dude, you're like in your 70s,
sleazy.
Like, why are you still telling people you were fucking Joni? It's embarrassing. Like she's not.
Should have done it.
That's disgusting.
I know.
I don't know. The unmade bed, right? You know, Cohen and stuff.
Well, Cohen,
he went there, dude.
He had no problem.
He had no problem with the ladies.
No, he certainly did not.
Janis took a go at him, famously.
He loved all men and women, I think.
Did he do that?
I don't know about that, actually.
He was kind of open. You could say kind of a journey to awakening.
I wouldn't surprise me at all.
Yeah.
I got a really good thing here, considering we were thinking of doing some ranking today. It's been a while. We'll see if
we're
we get
definitely going to do ranking today.
We
got to go over the categories.
We're talking about ranking Elvis Costello, perhaps one of your heroes.
Well, if we do Costello, we're doing Nilsson.
Yeah, which is our two guys.
Okay.
But I'd love this. Before I get to this, I went on. This is kind of a throwback episode.
Nice.
I went on Ultimate Classic Rock.
Oh, we got to start doing. These are some classic eyewall bits.
Yeah, I love just some of these headlines. They're always good. Yes, play intimate warm-up show ahead of the Close to the Edge tour.
Didn't one of Yes do the anti-vax move?
I think one of them was playing with Clapton.
I think that the singer of Yes,
John Anderson,
he's one of the kind of dark side. He kind of went League of Villains.
I love I don't even know who this guy is. Vito Bratta,
right?
Won't shut the door on performing.
Nice.
Quote unquote. I miss it. was not going to say it's over.
Slow day on Ultimate Classic Rock. He's probably working on his endurance score.
Yeah. Kenny Loggins wonders where yacht rock came from.
I mean, I can tell you.
Didn't he invent it?
No, it came from Loggins and Messina a little bit, but I think, doesn't it originally come, if you trace it right back?
Well, yeah, we've done this.
The Captain
and Tennille?
Yeah, I think that's where it starts.
I think you could take it all the way back to like...
Flaming Groovies or something?
Oh, wait, like Bread is like 1970.
Bread's
like
AM.
That kind of stuff.
Bread kind of counts.
It kind of came out of that AM... It's gold.
I'd say the Captain and Tennille to me is
pretty
there.
Late. That's like 75. Though.
Yeah, but
definitely
that's
was
very
stuff
like
before that.
It's
Doobie Brothers.
Yeah, but that's really Doobie's done a pretty hard rocking at 75.
Yeah,
they're not on a boat.
Yeah, Loggins and Messina.
They're on a boat early,
way pre Captain and Tennille.
and they're on a boat.
Yeah,
the Beach Boys, of course.
Some of that. What do you think of this? Def Leppard mark 45th anniversary with new gin.
Nice.
That they've made.
Nice.
Cool. It's a new Def Leppard gin. It's called Animal. London Dry Gin.
I was trying to think of what that means. 40. So that's of Pyromania.
I guess so. 45 years. My God.
There's a lot of super choruses on
a lot of postponements. Jack Stone's tour postponed. COVID. Ringo tour postponed. COVID.
Yeah. Well, listen.
Here, I love this kind of stuff. Reissue Roundup. Because there's so many of them. Spring sets from Elton John, the Stones, and more. We got Madman Across the Water coming out again. You know, all these Lee and Nancy. Oh, yeah, it never stops.
That's a great record.
And then this kind of cracked me up. So from here, I found Elvis Costello and Rod Stewart trade barbs over Jubilee concert.
Okay, well, I was going to talk about the Jubilee concert. I don't know what they said. But
sure. Let's hear your take first.
Well, when I was in England, I can probably surmise what the barbs are based on knowing those two characters. You know, Elvis Costello, sort of an infamous like anti-royalist, like anti-imperialist. You know, quite political. You know, when it comes to his world views, Shipbuilding with Robert Wyatt, and like
incredible song,
and then also just like his like kind of his like view that, you know, Britain should be a republic. It doesn't need to have a monarchy, which of course is completely true, and is also most music, most kind of just by virtue of the place most popular music, just by virtue of the place it inhabits in like the cultural, you know, universe, is kind of anti-establishment. It's often like a reaction against, you know, the dominant cultural or political norms, I suppose. So like with the Jubilee, it was really funny because the Queen, like, who gives up? First of all, the whole thing's absurd. She didn't even show up to her own party, and she's old, I suppose. They had Prince Andrew pretend to get COVID because he's a nonce, so he didn't have to be in the front row. And with the Jubilee music, it was so funny because you were like, well, who's going to fucking play this thing? Not only is who's going to play it, because it's immediately just like a bad look. Or you're like a band that like, it's like, or you're like the Beach Boys playing like Trumps.
Which is a bad look.
Well,
or you're already gone
to the dark side. Yeah. So it was like and also like, there's not going to be any, there's also like contextually like lots of other things involved. Like it's very unlikely that the organizers and the sort of royalists are even going to acknowledge punk or disco or any music of black origin in Britain, because it's all going to be anti-establishment, you know, because they are conservative by invention.
Right.
So it was like, it was like Queen played, of course.
Right.
Because Freddie's dead, so I mean, like, you know, and you know the rest of them are
Who's
like...
the singer now?
Adam Lambert.
Oh,
he won
still
American
is. He
Idol.
still is, yeah.
So he's got an American guy. I mean, he doesn't know. I mean, he's just... And you know their business acumen is 10. They're just trying to... Their relevance is irrelevant at this point. They played. Elton John played because he's like the only gay conservative in the village. He's always been a royalist. Mm-hmm. Rod Stewart played, which kind of makes sense too, because he's kind of just like... These are all old people.
Of course.
And there was nothing modern. This is like, there's nothing. And they had this guy come on and do like a weird, like, interpretive dance, spoken word history of music in Britain. And they went from like the Beatles, who can't defend themselves and certainly aren't going to play it.
Yeah.
Didn't do the Stones, of course. Mix a Sir, actually, but like Keith wouldn't fucking put up with it. A history of a disco came up, but it was just the Bee Gees. It wasn't anything to do with like, you know, where it was developed.
Right.
Like, it wasn't anything to do with like African American music. It was like somehow like British. It was like Clapton and the Bee Gees.
Yeah.
Completely bypassed punk.
Yeah.
There was no mention of it, as if it just never happened.
Uh-huh.
Then into the 80s, it was like George Michael and stuff. Can't defend himself.
I was going to say George Michael.
He's dead.
Throw him in there.
Britpop, totally. Cool Britannia, no problem. No black people involved. You know, like literally.
Right.
And then nothing about grime, nothing about hip hop or any kind of like street soul, anything.
Yeah.
And it was like, this was like a 15-minute piece. And then the guy at the end was like, and to think that the Queen has been here listening to all this music for the last 75 years. He's like, this country is a fucking toilet, literally. So I would imagine Costello just said,
well,
Rod Stewart's a clown.
Well, yeah.
An irrelevant joke.
Basically, social media trading barbs. Stewart was one of the many artists who performed the June 4th event in Buckingham Palace, delivering a brief portion of his 1983 hit Baby Jane before rolling into a cover of Sweet Caroline.
That sounds about right, because Sweet Caroline somehow has taken over England.
Yeah. The show, what happened was days later, during a stop in Glasgow, Costello paused mid-show to comment on the star-studded concert. The show was good, wasn't it? Wasn't it? No, it was shite, the rocker said, before turning his attention to Stewart. I mean, you all love him and he's one of yours and everything, but Rod, what the fuck? I must say, listen, we all have bad nights vocally, but for fuck's sake, Sweet fucking Caroline, are you fucking kidding me? I mean, I've been in show business 45 years, so I do know a thing or two.
He's got a gin coming out, probably, then.
How is it that nobody suggested Rod sing You Wear It Well? Which would have been a good one to do, probably, I guess.
Yeah.
It posts to social media afterwards. Costello noted that his criticism was about the song choice, not the performance itself. But, so he was upset. And then Stewart came back and said, my voice was rough because of COVID. I apologize. I thought it better to make an appearance rather than let everybody down. So sorry. He then took a dig at Costello, saying, by the way, where's your hair gone, mate? Because in response, Costello told Stewart, you know I love you, and again clarified that he took issue with the song choice and not the performance. As to gigs, I had a stinker the other night in Liverpool. They come and go like hair, which I keep sewn in my hat.
Nice.
Which was nice.
I mean, Rod is kind of a hair-based guy.
Well, and also, apparently he did Sweet Caroline because he was told to, because it's the Queen's favorite song.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
Yeah. And this was my favorite part of the entire article. As I scrolled down a bit further, just a flick of a thumb, Elvis Costello albums ranked.
Let's do it. I'll tell you. You want a top 5?
Oh, we got 30 here.
Well, yeah.
Okay, I'll just get down to the top 5. I haven't even looked at it yet, but I just love it. Straight to the ranking. Let's go top 10.
I can't do top 10.
Okay.
I can do the top 5.
Yeah, I'm sure you can do the
I mean,
top.
I can try and do it, but it's going to be like
No.
modern stuff.
The
top 5 are going to be this year's model.
Oh, starting number 1? Okay, yeah. This year's model.
Is that number 1?
Yeah.
Maybe number 2 is is it Armed Forces?
No.
Is it the first record?
Yes.
Okay.
My aim is true.
Yeah, it's good, but I'm surprised that is.
This one might confuse you a bit. Number 3. Although I don't really know. Maybe it's...
Let me look at some of the weirder ones that he put out that are good. Like Imperial Bedroom?
Yeah.
Okay.
Number 4.
It's good, Imperial Bedroom, but he's getting weird at that
Jeff
point.
Emmerich produced it.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't know that.
Number 4 would be Armed Forces. Then.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so it's gone back to that. Okay.
Number 5.
Is it going to be a weird one again?
I really like this one, but...
Oh, you know it?
Yeah.
Looking at... I suppose Get Happy.
Yep.
Yeah.
You got it.
Which is the one after Armed Forces where it has about 200 songs on it. Mm-hmm. So it's all his early
Nick
stuff.
Lowe produced.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. It's good. I like Punch the Clock.
Yeah, Punch the Clock's good. The one I was talking about the other day was Almost Blue, and it was produced by a guy who produced Mill Haggard. It wasn't T-Bone. Trust's good. I really like Blood and Chocolate, which is a bit later. That's an amazing record.
Let's rank them.
Rank Elvis?
Let's rank this bastard.
Okay, sure. Let's do it.
Now, we have a problem. You're going to explain to the listeners why. Now, I'm going to tell everyone what happened here, which is that James and I, we've been quite busy, and we have our ranking sheet somewhere. The card is being made.
It's literally being made as we
designing
speak.
the card.
No, it's been designed. It's being made.
Yeah. Well, it's almost done.
Yeah.
I'm tweaking it. It has to be perfect.
Of course, yeah. And this is maybe something we haven't discussed on a Wednesday episode. I don't know. We're sending... I guess I'm going to have to get every patron's mailing address.
Do you like ranking?
Okay, yes or no?
Yes or no?
It's a rhetorical question.
If you do and you enjoy the show, if you sign up for our Patreon, you are going to get mailed to you an official laminated eyewall ranking card.
Yeah.
That you can rank along with us on the show, what the artists were doing.
Yeah.
Then you take a picture of your ranking. If you want, post it, send it to us on Instagram, and we'll share it.
Yeah.
People can see everyone's rankings.
Yeah. We're just trying to build a community
And then you erase it, dry erase it.
Yeah, if you want.
Go
Or
again.
keep it forever.
Yeah, go again.
Go again. Play it again.
Well, I
Sam.
thought even a pad.
Well, I want a detective pad.
I know, but anything, even sheets, to me, it's pointless. Because
TV
even if
sheets.
there's only 1,000, there's going to be more rankings than that on this show. So I thought something you could just do forever,
You know how I feel about that.
Yeah. So basically...
Play with your friends at home.
So if you sign up for our Patreon,
I guess
wait until we have it made and officially announce it, because then we'll know.
There's a way by which on Patreon I can I can message everyone, and then they send me, maybe they're like, wherever they get their stuff drop shipped.
Yeah. And then I will personally mail all of them.
Okay. So,
What's so funny, Alex?
We're fucking working on our business acumen.
You think I won't do it?
Unbelievable. We're working on our business acumen here.
Although there must be a way to do it like easily, right? I have to write all those addresses down? Like by hand?
We might have to.
Can't you do the labels on a computer?
We may need to get a label maker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like a lot of. It's like Seinfeld, where Jerry has to sign all those checks that his grandma wrote him,
or when Susan has to lick all the envelopes and dies.
Exactly. It could be one of those.
I don't want to die.
There's stamps on all these.
We're talking about an hour of work.
I'm kidding, everyone.
Okay.
So anyway, but where I was going with that was
100%.
that we don't currently, either of us, have our ranking sheets on us.
Which is why we need a laminate.
Which is why we need the laminate. Exactly. We need them.
I need one.
I said to James, let's write all the categories down before the pod so that we can...
And he said, good way to waste about 15 minutes.
He said, and I quote, everyone's going to love it. We'll go through the categories one more time.
So I've got hangability here. I believe that's the first category. What does that kind of encompass?
That's kind of like, that's sort of like, are you a good hang? You know what I mean? Or are you fun to party with? But also, you're not going to be a liability, cause any problems.
Okay, so Elvis Costello, seems to me and I'm a massive fan, obviously,
I'm going to defer to you as I would hope
I
you
would
would
fucking
to me on Nilsson.
jive with this guy politically. I would love to talk to him about his book that he wrote, his autobiography. He is one of the most eloquent, deep thinkers in music. It's an amazing book to read. It's kind of vignettes of his life.
Yeah.
He's a bit of a working class hero.
I think he's a great hang.
But I do think, by all accounts, he's probably a real fucking hothead and has a bit of a temper problem. I've seen him on West 4th. He looks amazing. He's dead funny. I don't know, like...
I've also seen him on the Larry Sanders Show, which to me bumps his score up big time.
Yeah,
That's
like
cool.
he's kind of like a Bowie in that regard. Like I think he like enjoys life.
Yeah.
He seems very merry, but I do think that there's an edge to him.
Feels like maybe a 7.
I'd say 7. I was going to say 8, but 7's good.
7 or 8's good.
Yeah.
Maybe 8. He seems like a cool guy.
Yeah, I mean, he's made great moves in his career too. The people he surrounds himself with, you know, like he's like done stuff with Robert Wyatt, but also with Paul McCartney. It's kind of cool. Like,
I think people like him.
People like him.
He's on that Roy Orbison thing.
He's
too,
respected.
Right? I think he's on that Roy Orbison.
Yeah, he's also married.
Nights. Seems like a good guy.
I mean, I don't know what like's going on there with Diana Krall. I've never really listened to her. She's kind of more like of a Christmas. I think she just makes Christmas music.
Jazz, man.
Christmas music, I think.
Jazz.
Oh, I got to do your instrumental.
Yeah. Technical ability.
Technical ability for
Chops.
Costello. Chops. Not majorly high.
No.
Because he just doesn't jive that way, brother.
No. He's pretty punk.
He's pretty punk. He's new wave.
Punks don't score well in this category.
But I would say that he does have a phenomenal voice. It's unique, though. Yeah. It's not kind of like technically...
Yeah, I think it's a punk, like, cool voice, but, like, I don't think it's a tech... Like, he's not...
No.
If he sang As Time Goes By, it wouldn't be...
It would be sick, though, if he sung it. Cool, that's the thing, it'd be really sick.
Like, it wouldn't be, like, technically sound. It wouldn't stand up with... I'm already, like, thinking about Nilsson.
He's a bad old bird.
Like, he's got a great voice. Yeah.
Yeah. It kind of works with my COVID throat, actually. I have that fry.
You have COVID?
I've had it like 4 times. They tell you, man. Listen to this. I won't say names. I definitely, everyone in England's got it. Everyone's had it 4 times. I definitely got it when I was over there. All these crazy symptoms, having coughing fits. I had it a month ago when I was in Ontario. This is just touring now. This is just touring and traveling. It's what it is. I was on the plane back from England, and I bumped into a couple of people on it that I know, other musicians. Won't say their names. And
what are their names?
Gnashing, for one. I won't say their names.
I like the part when she says, I'm not telling you my dog's names. Goes,
that won't do.
That won't do.
Yeah. Longmont Potion Castle, Gnashing, for the reference.
Yeah.
I bumped into a couple of people on the plane, and they were coming back from playing a show in London, a fly-in. And we were on the same plane back, and I was like, right on. They're randomly testing people for COVID at the airport.
Uh-huh.
And so this is what, like last Tuesday or something?
Yeah.
I'm coming through, I'm thinking, I don't want to get randomly tested because I might have taken all these rapid antigen tests that are negative, but I'm not well. And something's going on. I don't like the fact that I've had COVID twice in fucking a month, but I think I have. It feels like that. Don't get randomly screened, come through. Go on a 10K run the next day, been going to the gym. I've still got a bit of a, a cough, but like, I mean, who doesn't? I saw one of the 2 musicians who was on my plane with me yesterday. The other one got randomly screened.
Yeah.
Tested positive for COVID, completely asymptomatic, has no symptoms. But because it's encompassed by federal regulations, he has to quarantine for 10 days instead of 5, missing a gig this weekend.
Yeah.
And he still has no symptoms, nothing. So everyone has got it. I think if you get tested right now in those kind of circumstances,
sure,
it's come through. Anyway, Elvis Costello, technical 5. Fine.
Yeah. natural ability.
We're talking soul here.
Yeah. Pretty good.
I don't know who's higher. He's 9.
Who's higher?
Well, like, who's higher?
Bob Marley?
He's probably got a 10.
Yeah.
Costello's as high as anyone.
Yeah, I was thinking 8 or 9.
I'm saying
for sure.
I'm saying 9 because
he's a very talented man.
If we're like seesawing or teeter-tottering with soul and chops, he's got to get, like, he's up there with Lennon, man. As like a punk new wave, like turned R&B, like big voice, big personality,
super
big presence.
talented guy. A lot of good albums.
Love his guitar playing too.
Yeah,
and it's raw.
I'm cool with 9.
Okay, so that's soul, natural, big naturals.
Yeah.
Okay, what's next?
Live performance.
Oh, extremely high.
He's good. I love a lot of those videos. Those old videos.
Have you ever seen? There's a great one where he's on like Rock Palast.
I
would say that
I don't want to go
like
to Chelsea. That one.
The whole. Yeah, well, he plays that.
They do that one.
But his whole.
I still love the opening drum fill the guy does.
Oh, Steve Neal.
I
think that the attractions at that time, like in the period between, well, Miami True isn't. That's like Clover, which weirdly became Huey Lewis and the News, weirdly. That record's absurd because it just moves around. It's all over the place. But I think this year's model, Armed Forces, Trust, Get Happy, Trust, that era, I think they're the best, probably the best band playing at the time. They're the band that most inspired me when I was like trying to make solo music. And those performances, like just feral, sweating, raw, absolutely like that's a show I would go to, but I'd have to get pretty fucking ready to be like blasted.
Yeah.
I
love hearing you this fired up about an artist.
Sweating and they're going bam, bam into songs. It's aggressive.
Yeah.
It's passionate.
Incredible.
I would say live performance.
Tell me.
I'm going to say 9.
That's high.
Dude, watch
the Beatles. What did they get?
He's better than the Beatles live.
Wow.
That era of Elvis Costello, I think he's as good as
personally.
The whole band, the whole thing.
No, we're not talking about
personally.
The whole band.
He's better than the band, which is insane. Watch that Rock Palast 45-minute set. It's bonkers.
Yeah.
We can go 8. I can go 8 on it.
I'm just saying, we're always saying if James Brown is a 10.
Sure, that makes sense.
Elvis Costello feels
8.
like an 8.
Okay, 8's fine.
Yeah, it's a good score.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
And I guess we're talking about at peak, right?
Yeah.
Still?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, okay, and the band, like Bruce Thomas playing with his fingers always annoyed me as a bass player. Playing punk with your fingers is stupid.
Yeah.
It's not a good
But they
look.
have that kind of like, that's kind of what I like. I like that they do that. Some things a little different.
Like two-tone dubby stuff?
Sure.
Yeah.
I like that stuff when it's a bit weird.
Yeah.
Now, what the
One
hell's
thing
the
to
next?
consider as well, which Luke brought up, which I actually can't believe I didn't think about sooner, is the answer to what is the perfect pop record front to back is this year's model.
It's
a full
sure.
10 out of 10. There's not a bad song on it.
Yeah.
It just flows. You can put it on. I might listen to it.
There's one interesting thing about Elvis Costello that I want to bring up right now.
Let's talk about it.
Because I'm a big fan, is that a lot of people are not. What is the deal with that? I know a lot of people who do not like him.
I don't
who have great taste in music.
I don't know why that would be.
Of all the artists that I think are clearly really great,
yeah,
he may be one of the more polarizing. Like, as far as like just like my music friends that are like big, and they'll be like, can't stand, like never listen to it.
Yeah.
Like won't listen to it. And I'm like, it's so strange. Is it to do with his voice, or is it like his like, is it, you know what I mean? Like, are the albums a little bit, because some of the lyrics are pretty, I don't know, specific to his songwriting and stuff like that.
Yeah, he's definitely got like an idiosyncratic
like
view of the world.
You have to like that.
Yeah,
or you don't
I think
like
you have to
him.
be a bit angry.
Maybe.
I think you have to have a bit of anger about you, like to enjoy it. Like, especially those big new wave records.
Yeah.
Like, he's not happy,
Right.
really,
Right.
at that point,
Right.
you know? And there's a bit of, like...
Yeah, I guess there's a cynicism to it.
Majorly.
Like, yeah.
You
That
know?
same, I guess you could say the same with like a Randy Newman or something. That like a lot of people...
He's a
just
cynical view of the world.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
yeah, interesting.
What's after live performance?
I'm just going to throw out Sex Appeal because I think it is.
I mean, it's not really his vibe
No.
at all.
I mean, we got to be fair to the ranking system here. It's not high.
No, and like, it's more like... he's got good fashion,
Yeah.
but his
Sex Appeal 3?
No, he's not Van Morrison. 4.
4, sure.
You know.
Sure.
What did Roy get?
Really low. But we took a lot of heat for that one.
Is fashion next?
Yep.
I think that like his early vibe was great. I like the suits. I love it that he used to play with his Union card in his pocket.
I always
was a
like
good
that
look.
too. I like the sunglasses. It was almost like he was kind of doing like taking what the British invasion look was, but then like making it a bit punk or something, which I thought was cool.
Yeah, and
Like
also
the small suits.
yeah, and I think also like it made him stand out, like on Stiff, but then also in general, like it was like the name. Actually, in terms of fashion,
he had that
I think
guitar with his
important.
name written on it.
Yeah, like I think that there was a lot that went into that look.
Yeah,
I think, and you know, even
I
just,
think the name does play into fashion.
yeah, because it's a really cool name. It's cocky too.
And he did, yeah. Yeah, it's a good, and it's like the original kind of Weezer.
Sure,
bit,
but he's
with
Buddy
the
Holly.
glasses. Yeah, but he's Buddy Holly, but it's also like it's the
Yeah.
two. It's a kind of like, yeah, I love the look. It's cool.
Nowadays, not so much. He kind of wears a little bit too many colors. Because he's lost his hair and he's got fat too, which it doesn't really work in your favor. He wears kind of like too many kind of fedora-ish hats.
Great.
It's not
great looks
fedorable.
here. Yeah, I think it's like for me, it's like a
7?
7. Yeah, I like his fashion back in the day a lot.
So what's next? Legacy?
No, that's always last.
Business acumen?
Well, we've got business acumen. How many have we done?
We've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Business acumen,
Legacy, innovation, endurance. Okay.
Like,
Well, let's do business acumen
Yeah.
here. I think pretty high because he transcended Stiff,
yeah.
was really successful in the States.
From a business, like, or
And
was
he's-
that just he was making records that?
I think he's changed his sound up and style up. He's kind of got that petty Neil Young cutthroat, like, won't take shit, take no prisoners, like it's about whatever I want to do.
But I don't think
he's kicked his fucking people out of his band. He's changed his band. He's changed his sound. He's worked with different people.
I don't know if that's a positive for. I think that in some ways he's very much like the whole thing about if people rip his songs off, and he's like, "Go ahead, I don't care." I think he's cool and arty.
He doesn't give a
He's
shit
not
about
a
that.
Henley dude. He's not like he's kind
That's
of a
true.
music guy.
Yeah, he's definitely
not,
a music
I don't
guy.
think it's a super high score. I don't know that much about it, but
It's funny with business acumen how Neil gets a high score for being a prick as well as being a cool guy and
well,
stuff.
because he kind of did both.
Yeah.
Whereas Henley wouldn't get the cool guy score, but he'll get the business score. Whereas
It's true.
Costello doesn't feel like Neil will hunt you down and kill you if
Yeah.
you try to steal his music or something. Costello would be like, music's in the air, man. It's cool.
Not
Like-
full hippie, but yeah, he's aware, I suppose, that he's done that too. Like,
yeah. And he's
that being
talked about
said,
it.
great pivots to like do songs with McCartney.
Yeah, he's not bad.
No.
It's just like, it's not like he's not amongst the business elite.
Like a 6.
Yeah, sure. That's fine. He's done well. Feels good.
Innovation.
Innovation.
So I think it's like pretty like tough, that one for him, because like there is no one like him.
Uh-huh.
He's completely unique. No one sounds like
We've
him.
done that people like that before, and they don't get a massive score.
But
because
he's not doing anything. Well, it's tough because he's some of that, like, he's changed his style up so much. He can do so many different things.
Yeah.
He's got like a lot of different kind of voices and vibes. Like, and there isn't really anyone in that kind of new wave dubby, like ska kind of punk thing. The Clash and him, I feel like, are like,
he's also been very open, even though he is like totally unique and part of that whole scene, about the fact that he was just plucking from like Beatles records and things that he loved.
Just doing
and,
like what Petty did, like doing the 45s.
Yeah, exactly.
Like just being like, I want to write good
songs,
3-minute in and out, put your foot down, rock and roll songs. At least at the start.
But I think his involvement with the like punk new wave stiff record scene at all is pretty innovative.
I also think
like, look at you. Like he's inspired a lot of
I also
people.
think that like his like, I don't know where this falls in which category, but I think it's important. Like getting kicked off SNL.
I was just about to say
go
that.
Fuck yourself.
That was I think that ups his legacy to me.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah. That was one of the best.
Because he refused to play Less Than Zero. He wanted to play radio about how his cynical view on like corporate greed when it comes to music.
Yeah. 100%.
You know? So that's maybe legacy. I think his legacy score is going to be pretty high.
Well, we're going to have to drag this out, buddy, because there ain't no way I'm ranking Harry in 9 minutes.
No, it's fine. You don't need to.
No, I need to.
I've got an Impossible Way of Life story that we can end on. Anyway.
Oh, that's great. Okay, let's finish this off, though.
Innovation? I don't know. 8? 7?
7. 7. It's a good score for that. Feels good.
Legacy.
We didn't do endurance.
Well,
endurance is always before legacy. Legacy's last.
Endurance, well, he's still going.
A legacy, you take everything into account.
Right. Endurance is going to be like pretty good. He's released a lot of music. Yeah, he's never stopped.
Does he tour a lot?
He does. He's slowed down though.
Seemed like he moved to BC, kind of kicking it on Vancouver Island, like
Nanaimo.
Kind of retired in the 90s a little bit.
But he made a great record with the Roots, like Wise Up Ghost a few years ago. Like he's still like
he's recording and stuff.
He still tours.
Yeah, but it's not bad.
But it's but he's slowed down. It's kind of like seated shows, kind of like really nice catering.
Yeah, and I wondered how many tours he's done.
He can still sing.
Yeah, that's big. That's big.
And he's got a different band now, and he kind of does still do.
Well, he's out on the road now. I respect that. I'll give him a 7, 6 or 7.
45 years in, still playing shows. We literally just read a tweet that he's playing a show in Glasgow.
I mean, man, we're not talking 250 shows a year like Dylan.
Let's look it up.
Doing, Dylan's a 10, Springsteen's a 10.
Of course.
Well, I haven't seen Bruce out on the road in a few years. You better get out there, dude. His score's going to get affected.
Look up Elvis.
How many shows has Elvis Costello played in the past 10 years?
You can just ask that?
I'm going to try it. Concert and tour history. Dude, this is a big website for us. Concertarchives.com. Every artist.
Massive.
Upcoming. Okay, so this year, he's got a few shows. Obviously, I'm going to go back to before. Last year, he played 5 shows the whole year.
He made a record with Alan Toussaint. I didn't know that. I got to check
that out. That's great.
I'm going to check that one out.
Seems like he's more like...
this is what I mean about innovation. Like, he's doing records with, like, The Roots, Alan Toussaint, but he's also doing songs with... He's done, like, Richard Harvey.
This is actually pretty impressive. In 2019, he was pretty much on the road the whole year.
Okay.
That's impressive. I'll give him an 8.
Okay.
Not the whole year, but he did a lot of touring. Nothing 2018, 2017, pretty big.
7, you might be right with 7. I mean, I feel like his score's pretty good here.
Yeah.
I feel like I got really fired up.
You did, but that's okay, because I'm expecting favor from you on Harry Nilsson.
There's no way Harry does as well as Elvis.
No, but certain categories you're gonna have to go.
His legacy is pretty strong. He's like not quite up there with in the pantheon of the rock gods, but it's assured. And I think bringing a politics, a kind of, through the 80s in Britain, through Thatcher, and like bringing like a kind of he's always kept and channeled that kind of original punk spirit, I think.
Yeah.
Mixed with a little bit of pub rock. It's a cool scene, man.
Well, so 100%, and there's no way Harry will do nearly as well. But all I'm saying,
boot it
certain
off
categories, he will do better, but most much worse.
Boot it off SNL's got to bump up your legacy
For sure.
because there's only been like him and the Beastie Boys and like Norm.
Replacements, maybe? Did that happen to them?
I don't know.
They got super drunk.
I don't know.
Okay. What did he get for endurance? 7?
7.
Yeah. Okay.
Probably the same.
Legacy feels like a
7.
Yeah.
Because you're not like he's not
like
McCartney.
in the yeah.
He's not there. I mean, a lot of these. This is a good score. I mean,
Add it up, tune it up.
I'm looking at it now, and some of it feels a little bit high. Maybe
There was 1 9 that I thought was a bit high.
natural.
Slightly. But that's fine. Because Harry's getting a 10 in technical.
Should we go to 8 for natural then?
Yeah. I was kind of okay with the 9, though. Anyway, add it up with the 8. What do we got?
Okay.
He's very talented, man. Very talented. It's my favorite part of every episode.
Plug your fucking computer in, Johnny.
We got 10% left.
Plug it in.
When's that?
Johnny's. We're just really don't want that to. We're really kind of running a professional operation here.
What's the score?
I'm just gonna double check it. I'm gonna redo it.
Recount?
I'm doing a recount just for safety.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a fan.
67.
That's good.
I can't remember anymore.
That's a good score.
We do need to write these all down.
Yeah. That's all coming.
67, I think's okay.
Yeah, it's a good score.
Yeah.
I think the Beatles got like 73.
No, they're like higher than that. I think.
No.
They were in 8. I think we got near the 80s.
Maybe John 75. George is like 72, 73.
McCartney got the top.
Ringo.
It went McCartney.
I think
John.
we changed them around so that Paul and John were tied.
Maybe.
But I think that's a pretty good score.
Yeah.
I think he's like around Tom Petty there. Maybe like a bit higher.
I don't remember. I don't know. The 70s seem to be where they're all low. I don't remember, man. But that feels good. I'm happy with it. I think he'll be happy with it.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I think so too. I think he's got a lot of 8s, 7s. That's a quality musician right there.
Listen, I'm not complaining.
No.
I'd be happy to get that.
100%. I don't think
I'd
we'd
get 20. I'd be happy with the 20, frankly.
I'd be happy to just get a good score in one category, Paul Rogers style.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Fashion.
Yeah, that
would mean a lot to me.
Either fashion or hangability, I'd love to get like a 7+.
So right, like guess where I'm going right now. I'll tell you this.
Where? Let's hear it.
So like, this is full back to Impossible Way of Life energy. Mm-hmm. We did a little tour, right? Got back from our tour. Graham moved, and from around the corner to the west side.
To kids, yeah.
Yeah, and we used a band van to help him move. That's what you do.
Sure.
And our van, it was like it's kind of old, but we just pumped a few grand into it, kind of really fixed it up. It's feeling really good. So anyway, like yesterday, Brandon went to grab it from Graham's place, his old place, where it's just been parked on the street. Went to grab it. It's not there.
Oh, God.
So we're like, he calls up Jeff. He's like, hey, Jeff, you haven't grabbed the van, have you, by any chance? He's like, no. Call up the impound. It's not in the impound.
Oh, my God.
So someone's fucking stolen our band van. It's nowhere. And I'm going to go over to Graham's like old place right now, just like literally do some eyewall detective work, see if there's any broken glass where it was parked, try and figure out what could have happened, see if there's been any construction in the neighborhood where they've maybe had to tow it somewhere. But busters, our fucking impound guys, are like, nope, we don't have it. So we're vanless in Vancouver. as a band. You've been in that van.
Oh yeah,
You've experienced
a lot of
it.
time. That's sad, man.
It's
That's
really
brutal.
it's more than sad.
You got insurance though, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So
What are they going to give us?
I don't know. Yeah, I know. They don't ever give you like really what it's worth. I've never had a car stolen. I don't know.
I don't know. I like neither have I. Like, how does it work?
Maybe you get a better van.
How does it work?
Could happen.
Getting your car
I remember a guy growing up like in a kind of like
That's cool.
in sort of a small town, like logging town.
Yeah.
There was one guy that was just like, "Hey, I don't like my truck anymore. Let's all go push it off a cliff." I didn't partake, but they went and pushed it, and then he like got the claim and got like a brand new truck.
I don't think that's going to happen to us.
Don't try this at home.
But, you know, part of it just feels like it's hard for me to care for some reason. It feels like I just burn the whole thing down. Sometimes with the music and the music industry, like you get that feeling, like, you know what? Burn the whole fucking thing down. At this point, it's just about how many people I'm taking with me. You know what I mean? Stolen our fucking van. You know? What's that
Lowest
all
of the
about?
low.
Subhuman scum.
At least you didn't have any of your axes in
Well,
there.
I left my rockonomics book in it and my nice Japanese minimalist flask.
Wow. Probably a couple burnt CDRs too.
100%. Maybe a hot heat record.
Maybe a dongle.
Dongle for sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's what I'm going to do in my
Cliff
afternoon.
Bar. You're getting another van.
Okay. Everyone have a great
Check with
rest
the boys
of your
down
week.
at the crime lab.
I'm going down there right now.
They got two detectives working on
Starsky
the
and
case.
Hutch.
I think.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, peace.
Okay, bye.